because it's just so much fun for me. I think I should announce when I'm going live so more people can join. I'm just going to see if anyone shows up. I've just dropped a new video on the channel about how the narcissist has no capacity to love, right? So if you're wondering whether the narcissist ever loved you or not, it's a really good one. It's quite healing to know the truth, although it's quite controversial because it's a very hard truth to have to understand. But I feel like when we know that narcissists are wired differently to us, then that can really help us, because when we project our empathy and humanity on them, right? I'm not saying they're not human. They're not human, but they're dehumanized, and that's why they try and dehumanize us. And they don't have empathy and compassion and remorse and a lot of the things that like we have, right? Which makes us wired very, very differently to narcissists. It is much more than a personality disorder, right? A personality disorder is like a mental illness. Yeah. Narcissists are not mentally ill, they're spiritually sick. They've made a spiritual choice. And in my work, we deal with it metaphysically as well as psychologically, so that we understand that they're soul detached, right? They're actually detached from their soul. No one who's spiritually attached to their soul could behave in the way they do. They thrive off trauma and pain. They want to hurt you. They know they hurt you, right? So do check out my work for like the extent of like what I go into with like the early videos, especially. I'm talking a lot about the spiritual aspects. I'm really happy to do more on that. And hello, when you come on, say hi. I'm doing an impromptu live. I'm just talking about the latest video I dropped on the channel, which is about how the narcissist doesn't love us because they haven't got the capacity to love. Do comment and interact with me, because I love to connect to the community. I want to do more lives. I probably should announce them before I do them so that more people can join. But I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to explain the content. I'm here to like keep us in the energy of growth, because it's really important to have a place to plug into that doesn't just give you information, but actually like it like elevates our consciousness. Say hi when you're on, tell me where you're from. I really love connecting with everyone here, right? So I just dropped a video about how the narcissist is wired differently to us. They don't love like we love. They haven't got the capacity. They can love bomb. They can everything they do is manipulative, right? They might do things that feel like love when they want something from you or want to put you back on the hook and get you hooked in the cycle, because all abuse is never just abuse, right? It's always got there's a sprinkle of the good stuff, the thing that, you know, the shiny object syndrome, and then there's the hard stuff. And they wouldn't be able to traumatize you if they didn't act well sometimes as well, right? We can really fall in love with a narcissist. I was madly in love with the narcissist in my life, right? Because I had the shared fantasy. I believed that they were who they pretended to be in the love bombing stage. And I spent, like most of us do, the whole relationship trying to get that person back. But of course, that person was never who they are, right? The mask drops. They are not who they pretend to be in love bombing. And love bombing doesn't have to be, I teach this all the time, like love bombing doesn't have to be a big grand gesture and lots of presents. Love bombing is just when they're projecting an illusion of who they are to manipulate you, right? They know what you want. They know what you need. Part of my course, Sovereign, I talk about the biggest unmet need we had as children, right? So people talk a lot and ask me a lot about how can you, hi, say hi when you're on, please comment. I'd love to hear from you. People often, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So people ask why do certain people get caught up with narcissists? So I want to talk about that as well, right? So I mean, for me personally, I grew up with them. So when I was drawn to narcissists throughout my whole life, right? Why? Because my tribe, my family were narcissists. My brother is, my mother is, and my father is, right? My grandparents weren't. They were the loveliest people I've ever met. But like, because those people felt like normal, the brain says safe to the familiar. So if you've been grown up with narcissists, you're more prone to being with one, right? That makes sense. If you've got like a lot of unhealed trauma, narcissists are predators. They're going to prey on your vulnerabilities. They're going to prey on your trauma. They want your trauma and pain, guys, right? So there are things that make us more susceptible, but narcissists will actually bring anyone down. You know, they actually thrive. They get satisfaction from it taking strong people down. So a lot of beautiful, strong, confident, not traumatized, people who haven't been through childhood abuse get caught up with narcissists, because some narcissists really get off on tearing a strong person down. Oh my gosh, Edward, thank you. All your content is excellent. Thank you the survivor community. Thank you for saying that. Honestly, it means the world to me, because the reason I'm loving doing lives, I've just started doing them, is because I really want to connect with you guys. Like, talking at a video is all very well, isn't it? But it doesn't, it's not the same as when you actually get to meet people who are like, because obviously I'm sharing all about myself, and I want to hear about you guys too. Do you know what I mean? I want it to be more interactive. So I'm definitely, shalom, shalom. I'm definitely going to do more lives. But like, narcissists are wired differently to us, right? And when we understand that, it's like we stop looking for love in the wrong places, because they're incapable of love. It's not like they don't love you because you're unlovable. That's what I thought, because I thought if my parents don't love me, then I must be unlovable, right? I carried very low self-worth and self-confidence my whole life. Hence, well, you know, hence panic disorders, anxiety attacks constantly, all that kind of stuff. I didn't feel safe around people because the people who were supposed to love me hurt me the most, right? So it's taken me a long journey, a very, very long journey, you know, and I'm aware still where I've still got bits to heal even further, you know, so that I don't just isolate, so that I'm not defensive, so that I'm open-hearted and I'm trusting, and I believe the universe is safe. Because a lot of the time, after, I'm going to do a video this week, another one I'm doing this week is on hypervigilance, because hypervigilance is something that I suffer with for most of my life, right? Hypervigilance is when we're kind of like in fight and flight the whole time, right? And you're just waiting for the next shoe to drop. You're just waiting for the next thing to go wrong, because you know, from narcissistic abuse, like it's like that. It's a roller coaster of highs and lows, highs and lows. So I've been hypervigilant most of my life, and I've had to heal that, right? And start trying to feel safe. But I teach this: safety in the body, safe in the universe. Like when something good happens, it can be very challenging for me, you know, because my nervous system knows from the narcissistic abuse cycle, when something like when they love bomb you, when you know, you go from the high to the low, they crash you down, because that creates the trauma blonde. Ah, you're welcome. Canada calling. Love your accent. Thank you, Edward. Hello from Canada. What's this stream all about? It is, she's kind of famous. Google her. Oh, thanks, Edward. I don't know if I'm famous. This stream is just about narcissistic abuse. It's just about if you've got any questions on my content. I'm just telling you what I've just the video I've just done, which is about the narcissist can't love, right? And the video's coming up this week. One of them is on hypervigilance. What else am I going to talk about this week? I'm not sure, I can't remember, but definitely the hypervigilance one, a lot of people will relate to, because one of the effects of PTSD, it's also just a chance for me to chat to you guys, right? One of the effects of PTSD is hypervigilance, right? So our nervous system in the narcissistic abuse cycle has been so heavily like effed up that most people come out very hypervigilant, and it's very difficult to manifest, right? So manifestation is another thing that I teach, but manifestation, you know, the more regulated our nervous systems are, the stronger manifestors we are. The more traumatized and the more broken, not fully broken, but kind of broken our nervous systems are, yeah, the harder it is for us to relax, to trust in the good in life, to be open to new opportunities, and actually manifest big things, because we don't feel safe as it is. You understand? So like, to be a powerful manifestor in the universe, our nervous system is giving the message to the universe of what we're available for. And if we're just in fight and flight the whole time, we're just trying to avoid the next thing going wrong, we're not open, right, to receive better and better things. My ex-wife was a narcissist, really. That's why she's my ex. Job done. Good for you. Good for you. Isn't it kind of narcissistic to talk about narcissism? That's an interesting comment. I mean, I don't know. It's not narcissistic to talk about narcissism. I think it's about, I'm here to help people and share my journey, because I went through severe narcissistic abuse over and over again. But I don't think it's narcissistic to talk about it. The only thing I did wonder about doing this work was, if I'm talking about narcissism all the time, am I going to attract more narcissists? Because there's law of attraction, which I teach as well, manifestation. You know, what you focus on grows. So I had to get over that and decide that no, actually, I get to share about narcissism and not attract narcissists because I'm focused on it as a topic. But it's not narcissistic. We need more people talking about narcissism. We need to have more consciousness on this planet. We need to stop be a source of supply to these predators. We need recognition. I don't think there's anybody on this channel that would say if they had known about narcissism, they would have gone with a narcissist. If it's a romantic partner, and if it was a parent or a friend, you know, they would have known how to deal with it better. What we need is awareness. Ah, thank you. I like you too. What we need is awareness. We need awareness of narcissism. We need people talking about it, but not some of what is out there is misleading people. And there are some narcissists talking about narcissism, which is a bit off because they talk about things, they don't understand it from the victim standpoint. And I teach on our emotional journey through it, how we heal, how we feel about it. So no, it's not narcissistic to talk about it. In fact, we need people to understand this. There is, you know, I wish I'd known about it. Gosh, I didn't know about narcissism until 7 years ago. I didn't know. I'd even been to therapy about my childhood and they didn't even know about it. You know, we need more people. I'm going to shout it from the rooftops. It's not narcissistic to talk about narcissism. It is needed and necessary on the planet. Every life that is saved, every person that rebuilds their self-esteem, every time we get more what I call sovereign, we win, right? We raise the vibration of the planet. We start being more loving towards each other. We start having stronger connections. What we want is love. What we want is connection. Narcissism destroys it. And it actually makes us put our guard up and get defensive and scared of everyone. So we're scared to let people in. This is not what we want. We need more voices on narcissism. Spent 25 years in it. Oh my gosh, Edward. I wish it was as easy as that for me. It's not easy. It took, you know, it's taken my life, you know, I didn't even know about it. And I'm an undergrad in psychology, right? They don't teach you about narcissism at school. They don't teach you about emotional intelligence. They don't teach you, hi John, how to get your needs met in relationships. They don't teach you how to communicate, right, powerfully. They don't even teach you that your emotions are valid, right? So we don't learn emotional intelligence. We don't learn communication skills. We don't learn boundaries. We should be learning this at school. We should be learning this at school. You have to go to a life coach, and I've got loads of qualifications in coaching, but like, you know, it's only through that I understood communication, of feelings and emotions, of how to protect myself, of how to set boundaries and standards and things like that. She is a lot like me when we get excited talking about it. Yeah. Diagnosed narcissist was hard. She knew what she was up to. Yeah, they all know what they're up to. Narcissists know what they do. They know it hurts you. That's why they do it. You know this because you can pull your hair out saying to a narcissist, they can see you're upset. They know they're hurting you. They know when it's your birthday. They know when it's Christmas. They know when they're causing a fuss. They know when they're being passive aggressive. They know they're hurting you. That's cool. You know, so narcissists know exactly what they are. A lot of them will tell you, they might not know in the technical term of narcissists, but they love power, domination and control over people. They're not looking for love, harmony, resolution, joy. They don't like joy. They like antagonizing people. They get off on it. It's like a power. It's like, I say, like they feed off your energy, right? So when you're really traumatized and annoyed and frustrated and jealous and all that stuff, they're getting a hit from it. They're getting an energetic hit. Even pets. Oh gosh, yeah. They will use everything as pawns. Dogs, they can be really horrible to animals actually and neglectful because narcissists neglect. So also emotional neglect is abuse. Most of us aren't taught that we actually are here to meet each other's needs emotionally, right? So when I say I need reassurance, you know what I mean? In a healthy relationship, my partner will say to me, what do you feel insecure about? What can I reassure you about? You know, we're not used to having the language of feelings and needs. We need to learn this because if we don't, we're not emotionally safe. They are emotional vampires, John. Narcissists are the biggest emotional vampires on the planet. They drain your energy. They drain your resources. They are a black hole. They do not get better. They get worse over time. They are just like insatiable in how much they will take. They're the biggest takers. They love drama. Oh my gosh. I like excitement, and that's another reason why you might be susceptible to narcissists, right? Because they can seem exciting because you're on a roller coaster, but really it is so bad for our nervous systems. It's so bad for our emotional well-being. I said in the last video about or like you can get physically sick from emotional pain, right? That's been proven. There are loads of studies on particular things manifesting in the body, like tumors and cancer and all sorts of ailments, that you can actually see correlation over like certain emotional states that are caused. So trauma is bad for us on so many levels. Emotional blackmail, Edward. Yes. Oh my gosh, they're so manipulative. They literally play with our emotions to such a great deal. Like, it is just horrible. It is horrible. I don't want to deal with a narcissist again ever. Like, I'm not saying that I couldn't be duped by one. I said this before. I know so much about it. I teach on it. I've worked with people on it. And narcissists are so highly manipulative that I may not spot them straight away, although I think I would at this point. I think I've actually got to the point where I will spot them straight away. But I mean, they are master manipulators. They get you in your logical mind. They twist things. They gaslight you. They spin you around in circles. You get, as soon as you're confused with someone, then even if you don't know if they're a narcissist, that's a massive red flag. As soon as you start feeling something's off and you're getting confused, things aren't quite adding up. There's a feeling we all get. We've got to act on that feeling. Narc proof. Narc proof. Yeah, exactly. We need to be narc proof. Absolutely. Zero tolerance, I call it. Zero tolerance. I will not tolerate narcissism anymore in my life. I won't tolerate it around the people I love. I won't tolerate it in any way, shape, or form. I won't tolerate it in my business. I've had a narcissist client before, and I think they just wanted to get tactics. Narcissists want to get better at what they do. When they go to therapy, they're actually trying to be a better narcissist. They're not trying to be a better human. We go to personal development. We go to therapy to try and be better people, right? Because we want to be loving. We want to have a beautiful life. Narcissists, the only reason they ever go to therapy is because often the partner has got so pissed off, they're trying to get resolution and get the narcissist to wake up and see what they like. The narcissist knows what they're like. They know it hurts you. They get off on it. It works for them. That's the hardest thing for some people to understand. They really like it. Yeah, it does get lonely, Edward. The hardest thing is rebuilding community after narcissistic abuse, because they often destroy your friendships, run smear campaigns, alienate you from people. You're often very isolated. That's one thing that I'm really focused on, even in my life now, is like, building that community. And we're in a society that lacks community right now in the world. We've gone too far into not being in communities as much. Don't get lonely, Edward. You get the one. You're not the one with the issues, dude. That's true. That's true. But I think we all get lonely. We all need human connection. We need each other. We're tribal. We're meant to be in communities. So like, the narcissists will isolate you from friends, family, children, whatever they can. And when we've been in that cycle, they're the sole focus of your attention, right? They take up all your energy. So it's like, it's very, very normal to be very isolated after this cycle, right? Very normal. Alone, not as lonely. Like that. I like that too. I'm alone, not lonely. Sorry, I misunderstood, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. So we're spiritual warriors after this cycle. Do you know what I mean? We often do end up alone. But then we have to do things like this. Go onto YouTube, have a live chat, go onto social media, find people, find your tribe, find your people. Don't let your life be lonely. We've got a lonely as shit. Yeah, I get it. Honestly, because I've just moved countries. So I was in America for 8 years. I've just moved back to the UK, but I'm estranged from my family because they're narcissists, and I don't have a community here. Like, so I am rebuilding, like finding out ways that I can actually rebuild community. And I felt lonely, like, I'll be honest, like coming back here, because it felt like, where's my tribe? I hate when my ex-narcissistic husband put on an overwhelming sorry dog pout face. And sluggish body language. Oh, they're great actors, aren't they? I love that. Sorry, dog pout face. Yeah, exactly. They're just not getting their own way, and they've got no shame. They've got no shame. They will put on the biggest show, have the biggest tantrums. I mean, these are grown adults, right? What the heck are they doing? Just come on here, bud. Yeah, air that shit. Exactly. I want to form a really beautiful community where we can talk and be heard and chat and all that stuff. I don't just want to teach on narcissistic abuse. I want to form a community that, because for a lot of us, we're on our own after this. We're finding our tribe. We're finding our people. By the way, you deserve to have love. You deserve to have people around you. Whatever, however isolated you feel right now, it's possible to find amazing people that you can just bump into, right? I met a really cool girl yesterday. Like, just I went to the pub on my own for lunch, right, with my doggy. But like, it's possible. Just keep believing it's possible, and it will happen. I promise. Keep feeling into what you want. What you want matters, right? And you get to create it. They are actors, Academy Award winning, and they've got no shame. Like, they will literally tantrum and like strop. And like, my ex-boyfriend was 15 years older than me, right? And the amount of drama and like, I don't know, like, I hate comparing narcissists to children, because children are innocent and narcissists know that they're not, that they're evil. They know what they're doing is wrong. But he would put on the most, like, I've only seen 7-year-olds have those kind of tantrums. You know what I mean? If he's not getting his own way, or he'd go the other way because he was covert and just completely ignore me. You know, it's like, punish me. You know, it's just like, oh my gosh, when you actually think of what we've gone through, the drama, the chaos, the sulking, the dog, what do you call it? Sorry, dog pout faces. Ugh. And then, you know, we don't want a life where we have to just walk on eggshells. Because I know, like, grey rock, stonewalling, that's all good strategies. But like, we don't want a life like that. We want a life where we share our hearts with people, where we're connected, where we're alive, where we're having fun. 7 is as old as they get. Well, 7, the thing is, like, I hate calling them childish because they're so malicious, right? Children are not malicious. And I hate it when narcissists are compared to children for that reason, because children are innocent generally, right? But like, they are incredibly immature, like, in their actions, but they don't care. They've got no shame and no remorse about it. They don't sit at home thinking, I shouldn't have gone that far. They just thrive on the drama. They just thrive on it. If it gets them their own way, they're happy. And with a narcissist, it's their way or the highway. Got to go, guys. All the best. Bye. Thank you for coming. I'm going to go in a minute. I'm going to keep coming on live. I might announce when I'm going to do it, but I like to just do it impromptu because it's fun, right? And I really want us to connect. You catch them staring at you. The narcissistic stare, it's so spooky, Rosa, right? I did a video on this ages ago, right? They're basically scanning you. Like, then they do that stare. It's that they're trying to, like, mirror your mannerisms and stuff so they can manipulate you. They're literally picking up information. They're operating in the psychic realm. That narcissistic stare, it's like when they're scanning you. They're scanning your information so they can manipulate you. Trust me, it's going on spiritually as well as in the physical. This is not just, it's not a personality disorder. A personality disorder is a mental illness or, you know, some kind of disability, like Asperger's, for example. Asperger's, people lack empathy, but they're not intentionally harming you. People with autism and Asperger's often spend time learning how to be more socially acceptable, and they want to, you know, grow. They want to get on with people. Narcissists know they're destructive. They want to destroy people. They want to destroy your reputation, your finances, your energy, your health, your spiritual trust in the universe, in God. Like, how many of us have gone through this and lost our faith and our hope and our trust in God? Because, like, we think, how the heck could this have happened? Right? They want to destroy everything good in you. The best things about us are the things they don't like. They have contempt for our compassion, our empathy, our kindness, our want. They look down on you for loving them. They literally look down on you for loving them. They think it's like a weakness. I think it's a strength, and we're going to start a revolution. I was a full-fledged gangster. She turned me inside out. Oh my gosh. I watched myself dissolve. It was amazing. I knew I was not the person in this cycle. I was not, yeah. So she took completely, your strength, Edward. Like, she got your strength. Unbelievable. Never looking back. And when he comes around, I read his spirit. Yeah, don't look back. Don't go back. If you've left, that it's never worth going back. There's always that thing in our brains, right? Because we've loved these people, let's be honest, where we wanted them to change. It's very hard to accept. Like, you know, I still, in my heart, you know, there's always a bit of us that's always going to think, but what if they have changed? But that's the other video I'm going to do, when the narcissist when you give the narcissist a second chance. That's the other video that's coming up this week. So check that one out as well. I've got why the narcissist can't love. I've got one on hypervigilance coming. And I've got one on when you give the narcissist a second chance. Because that basically, when you give a narcissist a second chance, it's a permission slip for their behavior and it gets worse. Of course, in our hearts, we've loved things about these people. So we wanted them to get better, right? But you have to understand they don't want to get better. They never want to grow. They don't want resolution. They don't want to grow with you in the relationship. They just want to carry on because what they do works for them. Doesn't work for us, but it does work for them. What a whirlwind. 25 years, Edward, you said, didn't you? I mean, I was in the cycle since childhood and I was still involved with narcissists until about not that many years ago, really. You know, so like most of my life, I was under narcissistic abuse, and I was then attracting more narcissists into my life all the time because these were the people that I couldn't say no to. I kept repeating my family dynamics, you know. Oh, but I'm finally free. We are free. We are sovereign. We are beautiful. You look beautiful today, even though I can't see you. I can feel your hearts and know how beautiful you are inside and out. Mum is one, still alive, no contact. Yeah, I've got no contact with my parents. I've got no contact with my parents. And that saddens me still. You know what I mean? I've healed it, but it's sad. It's never not going to be sad. Like we're in the holiday season, you know? But even as a child, I was sad about my parents. I wasn't invited on Christmas Day. They used to do terrible things to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like they do the most ridiculous things. They ramped up the abuse second time. Like, oh yeah, John, they do. We think, so they love bomb you, they hoover you. I'm having a whole video on this when you give the narcissist a second chance. But yeah, it always gets worse. I've had some horror stories from people that I've met, like in terms of how bad it can get the second time round, the third time round. But every time, basically, you're giving them what I call consent. You know, I talk about consent a lot. So we're giving them, when you give someone a second chance, a normal person, right? A normal person, whatever normal is, but you know, a non-narcissistic person, you know, if it was me and someone gave me a second chance, I would do my best. That's the human nature, not to repeat my mistakes. When you give a narcissist a second chance, you're giving them a big permission slip to not only repeat that behavior but act that they can get worse. Millionaire, not worth it. No amount of money is worth your soul. No amount of money is worth, like, you know, I lost everything, guys. I lost all my money. I lost my business. I lost my friends. I lost my home. I was homeless. I lost everything in this cycle. But what I never lost was myself. And when I've got myself, I can build all that back. And being a millionaire is great, but if a millionaire narcissist offered to, I wouldn't be with a millionaire narcissist. I wouldn't be with a narcissist full stop. You know, it's not worth it. My quality of life wouldn't be worth it. Things don't make you happy. That's true, right? And I love having things. I teach people on manifestation because I think we should all be abundant. But like, I know that if I looked for happiness if you look for happiness in things, when you get all the things, you don't feel, I mean, I've had times in my life where I've been very abundant, right, in my business. And like those things, you know, if you looked for happiness there, you wouldn't find it. If you just see the things as a beautiful part of life, then it's great. But they're not going to make you happy. People make us happy. We make ourselves happy. Life makes us happy. Being in love with life again, finding our spirit, finding our energy, choosing to create our lives like differently, having fucking boundaries and standards, letting people know what they get to get away with and what they don't. I'm drinking a Diet Coke. When you get out of the cycle, you see they were not amazing but broken. They're just dehumanized. They're so detached. They are not amazing. They are far from amazing. They're highly destructive. Like when people say describe a narcissist, they go into like they say things like they're grandiose, they're entitled, they're blah blah. They are all those things. But most of all, the biggest message that should be going out there that people should be saying is these are highly destructive people, right? They're really a health hazard, as well as a finance hazard. Good things, they buy fake love. They buy people. People are pawns. They'll try and buy kids. They'll do anything for clout, narcissists. They care more about how they look than how they are. They care about appearances, not just physical, but like, you know, having the stuff, showing off, all that kind of stuff. They love that. It's all for clout. They care about, that's why they do the big love bombing thing and have all their flying monkeys so that they can control the image, the illusion. I am narcissist free. We are narcissist free. I was going to make a t-shirt saying narc free, but I thought that was going too far. I might make some t-shirts saying sovereign. But there, they do. Everything about a narcissist is fake. Nothing was real. And that's so hard to stomach when you've been in love. And when it's been your family, you know, it's so hard to stomach, isn't it? Like, all of it was fake. LOL. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for joining me live. I love it. I will keep doing these because they're so much fun. I love chatting with you. Please chat again with me. And hi to Canada. I love that. Let's see if I can take this.